We begin, though, with breaking news and more bad news for Houston sports fans. It doesn't stop coming. NFL.com reporting that Deshaun Watson has requested a trade from the Texans. Matt Musil live at NRG. So what can you tell us, Matt?
Well, that's a good point you make, Sharon Min. Over the past few weeks, Houston fans have been hit hard. George Springer is now gone to the Blue Jays. James Harden is now gone to the Brooklyn Nets, and now Deshaun Watson says he wants out. This all came to a head as the Texans are poised to name David Culley as their new head coach. Now, let's be clear about this. This is not on David Culley, the new head coach. By all accounts, Deshaun Watson has a good relationship with him after meeting him at the Pro Bowl. This is not about David Culley. He's assembling a staff, and the announcement is supposed to be made official tomorrow. This is about Deshaun's disappointment with team CEO Cal McNair and the head of football operations Jack Easterby. And this has festered for some time. But let's also be clear about this. Deshaun Watson is not without fault here. Remember when he signed that huge contract 6 months ago, those same two guys were in charge. Bill O'Brien was here as head coach and GM, but in fact was the CEO, Cal McNair, and Jack Easterby were in charge when he signed that big contract. So that's on him. Yes, they didn't hire a couple of the guys he wanted, Robert Saleh or Eric Bieniemy, but he has this huge contract. It's a no-trade clause, so it's interesting to see what will happen. Aaron Wilson of the Houston Chronicle has been in touch with Deshaun's unhappiness and his representatives from the get-go, and I spoke with him moments ago via Zoom.
Absolutely, yeah, that was a choice, and obviously he had second thoughts, regrets, and even as he was doing the deal, because it was great money, not everything was so smooth. It wasn't all the hearts and flowers, Matt. It was a situation where there was some hesitation. And usually if you have that, if you don't have a great feeling, sometimes you shouldn't do something. I would say it would have probably been better off just taking more time and letting things play out. And then I think they probably never would have signed him to a contract.
But the fact is that deal was signed. Now, Tim Kelly, as you see here, working closely with Deshaun Watson. He was the OC under Bill O'Brien. It's expected that he will be retained as OC, but that's not enough to keep Deshaun here. He's upset with management and ownership. He wants out. A no-trade clause means he can basically pick where he wants to go. It looks like the best deal out there is with the New York Jets. They have the number 2 pick overall. You would get a haul of first-round draft picks also. And it would just be, it's hard to swallow, Sherman, because he's another superstar. You've waited forever, Houston fans have, to get a franchise quarterback. You finally get one, and then he wants to leave. It's very disappointing, but that's a fact. Right now, we'll have more, of course, later on at 4, 5, 6, and 10. But Deshaun wants out. The question now is, will he withhold his services? He could just sit out if the Texans won't trade him, and that could get really ugly.
More upsets in the Houston sports world. Thank you, Matt.